Now we get to talk spoilers. If
I'm sorry. See, I'm not moving my hand.
She just goes off like that. What up, big kids? Here's our big spoiler review of Iron Man 3. There's some controversy in this film. Okay, like I said, this is spoilers, so if you're watching this, you've been warned.
Yeah, warning, spoiler alert. Do not watch.
Like, there's a lot of things, but I guess the main thing is the Mandarin.
Are you talking about oranges? Because I love Mandarin oranges. How's that a spoiler? Did you really think that was like a tangerine instead of it?
I was thinking it was Chinese food, but no, Mandarin Chinese food. Anyway.
Oh, dude, I love that.
No, but no, so the Mandarin from the trailers and everything, even with the rings, was teased to be like this powerful terrorist, and we thought he was going to be the main villain, and it turns out he's hired by Aldrich Killian. Actually hires this actor, this British actor, which Ben Kingsley is, Sir Ben Kingsley. He's a heroin addicted or drug addicted actor, drunk, to be the Mandarin. And the thing is, for that story, what he was doing was actually pretty brilliant. And the Mandarin, I love the Mandarin. Like, he is like Iron Man's arch enemy, and okay. Like, part of me, like the fanboy me, was a little disappointed that I didn't see him with his magical alien rings and, you know, the martial artist. And we saw, if you watch the animated film Invincible Iron Man, the way they take on the Mandarin, like, that was also disappointing. But the way that they worked it into the story made a lot of sense. Yeah, like, maybe, like, down the line, he could be, an actual, like, maybe he turns out he wants to be a bad guy and he actually gets magical rings and he does become the Mandarin. But
I could see that too.
But yeah, I mean, so that's one way. He's not really like gone. Like, he could come back as the Mandarin, but the way he was portrayed, it was just a fake out to be a terrorist, where Aldrich Killian was setting up where he had control. Like, he was trying to make the president in the U.S. inferior, and there was some conspiracy where the vice president was on it, and he would have killed the president and made the vice president president. So then he would have had this whole terrorism thing where he had control of the government and money. So what he was doing was actually very brilliant. It's just that he turned a very iconic character into a plot device to... Dude, it's kind of like how they did in The Dark Knight Rises, where Bane was actually the lackey to Talia al Ghul, which I know some people were pissed off, but to me still was, I had no problem with that. Bane was already changed so much, like no Venom, no whatever. So I went with the flow. There's been so many characters that have been changed, from Venom to, like... You know,
that's just movies, and you're going to get that regardless of what superhero comic movie that you're watching.
Batman wasn't killed. The Joker didn't kill Batman's parents. Right.
So you have that, because me being a hardcore Batman fan, I'm just like, no, this wasn't in the comics, but you guys have to see that not only for us knowing the comics, you know, you're getting other people that don't know nothing about, you know, comic books, that nothing about the history. No, I don't. In all honesty, I knew nothing about, like, I know nothing about, you know, Iron Man's villains. And, like, knowing this, you know, not knowing what, you know, Sean had told me about, you know, how they changed him. I wouldn't have known, but to me, it was fine. I was cool. I love Iron Man. It made the movie more fun and funny, and you know, I got it. But like hardcore fans, it's like, of course you're gonna get those people. Like me, I'm one of those people when it comes to like Batman. But then when I kind of step back and look back, I'm like, okay, that's fine, because, like, you know, you get more people into these type of movies, and you get more people intrigued in like Iron Man or Batman or like Spider-Man, you know. So that's what's so great about, like, you know, making superhero movies. You know, you're getting people that, you know, wouldn't necessarily watch these kind of movies, but then you do. So I think that opens doors for people.
So the main thing about the whole Mandarin thing, if it wasn't for Ben Kingsley and especially Guy Pearce's, like, they changed Aldrich Killian's character in the comics, the Extremist comics, when he sold the Extremist virus to terrorists, and basically he got so guilty from it and he shot himself. So that character was very minor, whereas this one was very major. They made it, and he also was the head of AIM, which wasn't, he had nothing to do with AIM in the comics. AIM is something totally different, which AIM is...
I thought AIM was like something else.
That's an organization that is Iron Man villain, like with MODOK. MODOK is like, so that's another character that I don't know how they would bring to life, but they could anyway. But that's a whole different thing that could be with sequels anyway. So AIM and having them, that was really cool. It was a lot of fan service, but at the same time, a lot of these characters have been around for so long. Like the Mandarin is so convoluted now, like how many times he's been rewritten and everything. Even in the Iron Man cartoon, which a lot of people know him from, because he was like the main...
See, I wouldn't have known, because I never watched the Iron Man cartoon series.
Even in the Iron Man Armor Avengers, he's always so different. Like, he wasn't green skinned in like this movie, and he was green skinned, and so he's been changed around so many times, so it's like, you know what, whatever. It's like, I just wanted to see Iron Man do his thing, and he did, and the story made sense. Aldrich Killian was awesome. Like, that character was another minor character that became like such a... He even says at a moment like, I am the Mandarin, so it kind of like is saying like he was the puppeteer, whereas Ben Kingsley's, or Trevor as his name, was the puppet. And yeah, like I said, it's gonna piss a lot of people off. I should be pissed because I love the Mandarin, but I was thinking the way they've been going with Iron Man, they would never see the Mandarin. So this was... There's still...
Yeah, it makes sense. Like, you... Yeah. Like, when he said, you never see me coming.
Yeah, it was kind of like a teaser that they were going to have, like... That it was like, yeah, you wouldn't see this coming, and except for the freaking people in like overseas that spoiled it for us here in the U.S.
It was just like Saw. You never saw that person coming.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, it's just... I am Iron Man. Yeah, and you never saw that coming too. But with Iron Man 3, it made a lot of sense for the story, so I was fine with it. Like I said, I know a lot of people want to see the rings and Fing Fang Foom. Yeah, I would love to see that too, but there are so many things, like, when you look back at comic book films, I would never think that I would see Talia al Ghul in a live action film, and we did. Right. And so, same thing with Anna.
even I was like, really, Talia al Ghul? Like, they should have made her more, ethnic looking, like more Arabian.
Did you notice that a lot of British people play these ethnic roles? Like Ben Kingsley, the Mandarin, is supposed to be Chinese.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe
the British people take out the American roles and the... No, I just noticed that because like Superman's being played by a British guy, Batman's being played by a Welsh guy. It's like, it's
we need to protest and get Americans to play.
Hey, Robert Downey Jr.
No,
Iron Man's American, so that's happy. And Captain America was played by American, thank God.
Well, what if Captain Britain? Captain Britain!
No, there is a Captain Britain, but in Marvel. But anyway, that's a whole story.
Okay.
See, that's what I'm saying. You don't even know this, but other spoilers. So, okay, so the big thing at the end, I should talk about this. This is something I want to talk about in this video. So we'll talk about everything with the final battle with Aldrich and the extremists, whatever. Like, Pepper gets the virus, which was a little teaser because in the comics she gets her own armor, the rescue armor, which I thought she was going to get, because they made a rescue armor. It's called the Red Snapper, which even Hot Toys made a figure.
Red Snapper.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But, yeah, so it seemed like she was gonna die. Well, it seemed like she did die, but she came back and she actually killed. She was the Catwoman in this movie. She actually killed the bad guy. You know how Catwoman killed Bane in the last one? She was the Catwoman. Like, whereas you think Batman's gonna take down Bane, and Iron Man's gonna take down Aldrich Killian. It was Pepper.
Right,
so.
She really kicked ass. To me, when I find Pepper, I don't know so much about Iron Man and his villains. All I know is Tony Stark and Iron Man, and I think he's a really cool character and a really badass character when it comes to Marvel characters. But really, I never really thought as Pepper Potts being such a maybe I could have they could have played a different character likewise, maybe facial wise, because I think she looked a little bit old, but. Looking at her and her performance, I thought she made a really good Pepper Potts, and seeing this movie and seeing her really act and really just kick ass showed me how much wow, they picked a perfect Pepper Potts for this role. She just really kicked ass at the end. She she made her part. Just like, wow, it's like I'm sorry, I'm just all about empowering women and just kicking ass, and you don't see that sometimes.
I know, except for Black Widow and Catwoman and stuff.
Right. Yeah. So seeing her kicking ass, I'm like, yeah, that's girl power, man.
Yeah, and she saved the day at the end. That was awesome.
Right.
Another thing is, this, like we said in the other review, this felt like a lot of the Dark Knight Rises, Iron Man Rises. Tony Stark loses everything, his home gets destroyed, and at the end, yeah, that was me that time. At the end, basically he wants to start with a clean slate, so he self-destructs all his armors, all those armors at the end, that amazing. And basically it was a symbolic thing too, because like it becomes like fireworks and they're watching it. And
I know, I felt like I said in the previous videos, non-spoiler video, I felt so bad for like the Iron Mans and like the marks, the different marks.
They really felt like they had a different personality.
Dude, I felt like they were a person inside of them. I just felt like, I was like, no, like don't go. I felt really sad. I'm like, in the inside, I felt really sad. And
oh, I know, it sucked, but that's why I'm gonna just buy the Hot Toys, so I'll always remember them as my little memorial. But also at the end, so Tony does fix Pepper. She has the extremist virus, but he knew how to, like, he's the one that actually helped perfected it, which was also in the comics too. But he doesn't actually get it, which in the comics he does. But anyway, like anyone that read the comics knows that. So, so while she gets fixed, he said, well, you know what? It's about time I get my, like, shrapnel, which in the comics he finally does get it out. Like, he had that for a long time in the comics, but it's like, well, if I can make all these suits, why can't I get this surgically removed? And he does. Finally, he doesn't have to live with that arc reactor in it. And at the end, he's at his cliffside house, his former house that got demolished, and he like throws it out. And so now this really like resets Iron Man. It's like he doesn't have armors anymore right now, and he doesn't have the arc reactor. He doesn't have a home. So it really sets up what is Iron Man going to do now? It's like, is he still going to be Iron Man? Which he will. He's gonna be Iron Man. Yeah. It just means like he might do something like maybe he'll learn something extremist, and then he'll do what he has in the comics where he can have the bleeding edge armors, where he actually can have the armor come out from his skin anytime he wants. He doesn't have to have it like remotely like the Mark 42 was.
But I kind of miss that. I would kind of miss that, like just having that like symbol, because that's Iron Man's symbol. You know, that's what's making his armor work. So. I feel like him not having that, this is like Batman not having his grappling gun or his his weapons, his utilities or his belt. I don't know. That's missing. It's something that's missing. So I don't know. I don't know.
Maybe he'll get a tattoo of that and like have it like glow, like a glowing tattoo or something. That'd be fun.
Yeah, because you have tattoos, huh?
Oh yeah, but yeah, no. Overall, there's some things that were a little shocking and might really disappoint people. I know, like I said, it'd been cool with the Mandarin with the rings and everything, but overall, like I was really happy with the film. The acting, the story, the action, the humor was just everything I wanted to see in an Iron Man film.
Right.
Like it was just so freaking awesome. Iron Patriot was awesome, and that was Norman. That they couldn't have Norman Osborn there because the whole Spider-Man Fox Marvel thing. But
and speaking of Iron Patriot, it just I wish I would have seen him a little bit more in the movie.
Yeah.
I really do like Iron Patriot. I know he's
War Machine. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he used to be called War Machine. Now it's Iron Patriot.
I think he'll go back to War Machine after this. I think
anyway, I think he just looks badass. It's just like. It's just like a Captain America and like an Iron Man shield, basically. Like I think.
Yeah, that was the whole point. The Iron Patriot was supposed to be like a Captain America inspired.
Yeah, I think that's just really cool, like badass. And going kind of like beyond that, I've seen that I remember was when actually that plane scene where all those attendants, from the plane, was it 12? Was it 12?
Oh,
was 12 or 13?
Oh yeah, it was like 13 people. Yeah,
13 people. It was funny because looking at the trailer, I actually thought that though Tony Stark was in a suit, but like looking back, he was actually, controlling him out of the suit. So I found that a little like surprising.
Yeah, that was awesome. There was definitely a lot of surprising moments.
I was like, whoa, I did not expect that. That was really that was badass. And then the truck, was coming forward, and then Iron Man was just like, coming. He was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. I thought Iron Man was in the suit. I was like, I thought Tony Stark. I was like, no, seriously. And then he was like, oh, I didn't see that coming. It was just really funny.
You'll never see it coming.
I'll deal with this.
Like that again.
Yeah.
Anyway, you guys, we love the film. Definitely go see it. Don't listen to haters. They're very purist, but those are the people that just like.
I mean,
no one. You'll never please anyone.
Yeah,
in any comment. Never.
I understand. Believe me, you guys. I understand the feeling of, not having, your movie be accurate to the comics.
Yeah.
But like I said, it opens doors for other people that don't know anything about this world. I mean, when I say this world, I mean the world that we were interested in. Watching a movie of a guy in armor. I mean, come on. Yeah. It's like some people might not think that's really, amusing, but to us it's just like awesome. And then they actually see the movie and they're like, oh, this is a great movie actually. So just I understand, because I feel your pain, people. I feel your pain, but I'm okay with it, because in all, it just makes the movie better and makes other people excited for the next year, for Avengers 2. So that's why I'm like, yes, it's like I can't wait.
Let's hope Robert Downey Jr. returns, because this was his final.
My fingers.
Like under contract, he was to do 4 movies. That was Iron Man 1, 2, 3, and the Avengers. So hopefully Disney and Marvel are smart to like renegotiate. Where like, okay, I know they can always get so much.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I really think he is going to come back as Iron Man.
I hope so.
I have a feeling in the inside. I have a feeling in the inside that he's going to come back as Iron Man, because I know it's like, even with Batman, I'm going off. I know I'm just a big I'm sorry. No, my channel. Anyways, even with Michael Keaton, it's like, oh, he is Batman, but then they took over and they made it like Christian Bale. It's like, I understand the change, but I feel like Marvel is smart enough to make that decision, and Disney, of course. So I think have faith that he's still going to be Iron Man.
Oh yeah, definitely. So anyway, guys, definitely go see the movie. Go see it. Don't listen to haters and purists. Enjoy it for what it is. It's just an awesome action adventure comic book movie that's not 100% accurate, but to the comic, but what comic book movie is.
And this movie was very Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah.
But
with a lot of more humor, though.
Right, with a lot of more humor, of course.
Definitely. So, subscribe to BatgirlRaquel, you guys, and check out bkbn.net for more geek news, reviews, podcasts, and more. Sean Long and BatgirlRaquel saying,
remember, celebrate your nerdom in a big way.
Go to bkbn.net. Go to bkbn.net. Go to bkbn.net. I tell you to go. Go now.
Okay, hold on.
Mr. Roboto.
You just blew yourself up.